Take from 10 or shopping day 3. Grab your whiteboard or your notebook and let's get ready to do some great work and thinking today. All right, let's do some warm up with our close benchmarks. So pause the video and quickly write down the next 10 or the benchmark number. All right, let's check your thinking. 25's next 10 or the close benchmark is 30. 81's next 10 or close benchmark is 90. 4's next 10 or close benchmark is 10. 92's next 10 or close benchmark is 100. Remember, 100 would also be the big benchmark. Later, again, just a reminder, you might see me just put BB for big benchmark and CB for close benchmark. Because later I'll say, use your close benchmark or your big benchmark to sign this. 73's next 10 or close benchmark is 80. And 60's close benchmark is 60. Because it already is a 10. So we're just going to do the 10. You wouldn't give the clerk an extra $10. So you would just give them 60. Remember, you have to be able to do your close benchmarks to solve these numbers, just like you had to know them to do picture proof. All right, now let's do some renaming practice. So pause and complete the equations. All right, let's check your work. 65 equals 40 plus 25. Notice you have 40 plus 20 and the 5. 78 equals 50 plus 28. 91 equals 60 plus 31. 80 equals 40 plus 40. And 39 equals 20 plus 19. Remember, we've done this before, only before we did them, we called them break-aparts. Now we're just renaming them to make our equation easier. So remember, we need to know our close benchmarks, how to rename, and our partners. Things we've worked on a lot this year. Let's get ready to solve some equations now. All right, we have 44 minus 16. You probably are getting good enough at this that you can probably pause the video, solve it, and then check back to make sure you did it correctly. So 44 minus 16. We just put the minus 16 because that's what we're going to subtract. We put 16's close benchmark up above it, so we have 16, 20. Now we need to rename, so 20 plus 24 equals 44. Bring down the 24. And now use your partners to solve the only part that we're actually subtracting. 20 subtract 16 equals 4. So 24 plus 4 equals 28. Great job. All right, 55 minus 27. Pause and check back. All right, we're going to rename our 55. Starting with the close benchmark, so 27's next 10 equals 30. So I always go to my next 10 there. Plus 25. That's where we do our renaming. Or our break apart. We break apart 55 into a 30 plus 25. We're going to subtract that 27 plus from the 30. We don't do anything to the 25, so we just bring it down. 30 subtract 27 equals 3 because 7 and 3 are partners. So 25 plus 3 equals 28. Remember to check it. We add our 20 plus our 20 to get 40, and 7 plus 8 equals 15, which goes back to the number we started with. Great job. Okay, solve 61 minus 29 and come back when you're finished. All right, we start out by putting our minus 29 and putting the close benchmark or the next 10 above it. Well, 29 is super close to the next 10, which is 30. Now break apart or rename 61 as a 30 plus 31. We bring down the 31 because we're not going to do anything with it. We're taking our whole 29 away from the 30 by just thinking about 9's partner, which is 1. 31 plus 1 equals 32. Great job. Let's try another one. 50 subtract 34. All right, we're going to subtract 34, but what do we subtract it from? We subtract it from the next 10 or the close benchmark. Okay, so there's my CB. And 50 equals 40 plus 10. So that's my break apart or my renaming. I didn't do anything to the 10, so just bring it down. And the 40 minus 34 equals 6. Notice that's just my partner. That's all that is. How does 34, if I'm here on my hundredths chart, how does 34 get to my 40? How does it get there? By adding 6. So 34 plus 6, so I put my partner. Now 10 plus 6 is 16. Great. All right, 71 minus 27. Pause and then check later. All right, we put our minus 27 there. And right up above it, I put the next 10 or my close benchmark. So 27's next 10 equals 30. Now I'm going to break apart that 70 into a 30 plus a 41. I bring down the 41 because I'm not going to do anything to it. And 30 minus 27, 777, is that 3. 41 plus 3 equals 44. Okay, 61 minus 22. Hopefully you are solving these all by yourself now, and they make a lot of sense to you. Again, I'm going to draw a picture proof over here. 40, 50, 60, whoops. I'm going to erase that 61 because I should have left a space there. So 61, if I need to give them 22, I would have to give them 10, 20, and I'd give them the next 30 because that's my next 10 or my close benchmark. Do you see that 31 left there? That's the 31 that I don't touch. Well, what do I do with that 31? I add my partner, or what they didn't need from that 22, which is 8. So my answer would be 31 plus the 8 equals 39. So again, my picture shows the exact same thing, but after we get really good at the pictures, it's nice to move on to more efficient equations. All right, 71 minus 57. Solve it. All right, my next 10 equals 60 And then when I break apart 71, I break apart it into a 60 plus 11. Bring down the 11. Well, what happens to the 60? I subtract 57 from it, which is the partner to 7, which is 3. So 11 plus 3 equals 14. Great job. And the last one, 26's next 10 equals 30. When I break apart 61, it's a 30 plus 31. Bring down to the 31. 30 minus 26 is 6's partner, which is 4, for an answer of 35. Kids, great job. Do some more practicing. Tomorrow will be a lot of fun. Just keep up the good work.